Welcome to Internet Quality Academy. The channel is for the civil engineer, quality control engineer, and the site engineer who are working in the construction field. In this channel, we are dealing with anything and everything which is related to construction and quality control. Today also, I'm going to discuss about a very important topics in the construction that is related to concrete. Concrete is the main backbone of our any project. So how to accept the concrete, whether it is rejected or whether it is accepted. Rather say what is the acceptance criteria, and it is described in the IS 456 what will be the my acceptance criteria of the cube whatever we cast at the site. So in this video I will discuss each and every point, and stay tuned until the end to get the full information. And if you are new in my channel, kindly subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video you will get immediate notification. And it is my request that without skipping any part, watch this video till the end, because it is very tricky one and we need to understand each and everything or the terminology used in the IS code. So let's start. What is the acceptance criteria as per the IS 456 2000 and amendment at 2021? But whenever you are checking, you always check in the BIS website that which one is the latest one or the revised one, so that you will be getting updated. So start with, first we need to know what is sample. One sample is means 3 cubes. So here whatever we are talking about, the sample means it is 3 number of cubes. It's not the 1 cube. 3 number cube in one batch. And FCK is equal to characteristic strength that we all know. If it is a M30, it should be the characteristics in the 30 Newton per millimeter square. If it is M60, that in 16 Newton per millimeter square. Here we are giving an example of M30, and which is a relevant code already discussed, IS 456 2000, reaffirmed in 2021. And what is the amendment of these, where it is described, that is amendment 4, which has happened in May 2013. In this amendment it has described what will be the criteria for selecting the right kind of selecting the whether it is accepted or not. But before that, we need to know what is the standard deviation. Standard deviation is the degree of quality control, and it is mentioned in IS 456, table number 3. Let's check in the IS code itself what is in standard deviation it is meant. So it is in the IS code, it is mentioned what is the standard deviation here. For M10 15 3.5, M20 and 25 40, sorry 4, and M30 to M60 it is 5. So it is our standard deviation. It is required whenever we are calculating this this acceptance criteria. So these are the standard deviation we need to know. Now let's see what is the criteria. This is table 1, it is an amendment 4. It is mentioned clearly, this is the criteria. So what is the criteria for M15 and above? So it is for M15 and above, but below it is not required, or this formula will not be applicable. So what is the criteria? Mean of the group of 4 non-overlapping consecutive test result. That means we need at least 4 test result. 4 test result mean 4 sample, that is mean 4 into 3, 12 cube at least result to know whatever the criteria of selecting or the accepting the concrete. So here it is the formula and individual test result. Here it is also catch that if it individual means that which is not mean that 1 cube strength. Individual means that individual batch or individual sample size of 3. The mean of that 3 is called as the individual test result. So what is the criteria? This. Now we need to satisfy this if it is the 4 number of consecutive or number minimum of 4 number of samples. That means 12 cube. Now if my sample size is or the concrete cubic is 1 to 5 meter, that means my sample size will be 1. Wherefore am I getting? That is also getting from the IS 456 in let me see 15.2 456. We are getting the same things where it is mentioned what will be the selecting sampling frequency. I have made a detailed video on this. What will be the sample frequency? If you want to know more, watch there or in the description. You will find out what is the sampling frequency. Here it is mentioning this 1 to 5 cubic meter, one sample. One sample means 3. Where it is mentioned, 3 test specimens shall be made for each sample, which means one sample is equal to 3 cubes, as I discussed earlier. So 1 to 5 is 1, 6 to 15 is 2, and 16 to 30 is 3, and 31 to above it is 4. Now, whatever the formula we have seen, that four consecutive sample is required to establish that criteria. So above that, there are 1 to 5, 6 to 15, 16, 30, there is a criteria. So how to satisfy that criteria? That is also we need to know in order to satisfy the total concrete. So if my concrete volume is 12 cubic meter and we have to take the sample of 2, so that means 6 cube. So that also we need to verify whether it is accepted or not. For that, what is it mentioned? See here in the note 1, it is said in the absence of established value of standard deviation, the values given in table 8 may be used. That already I show you the standard deviation values. An attempt should be made to obtain result of 30 sample as early as possible to establish the value of standard means deviation. What does it mean? During the design stage, whenever we are calculating the target mean state, we have taking a standard deviation value. It is in the table 8 already I have shown. Here it is again, I will show you. Here is the standard deviation value. So my case M30 is equal to 5. Now it is the design stage. We have taken the standard deviation that is 5. But now whenever we are doing the concreting, we need to check at the site itself whether this standard deviation is there or not. Or that means whether a degree of control, whatever we assume at the site, the same is following or not. So for that, what we need, that minimum 30 samples we need to calculate the standard deviation. 30 sample means not the 30 cubes again, that is 30 into 3 is the 90 cubes for the 90 batches we need to calculate the standard deviation. And the second part, what is saying, for concrete quantity up to 30 cubic meter, as I show you, the number of samples to be taken is less than 4 as per the frequency of sampling given in the table, as I show you that in the test sample should be FCK plus 4 minimum, and requirement of minimum individual test should be FCK minus 2 minimum. However, the number of sample is only 1 as per 15.2, the sample requirement shall be FCK plus 4. So here is the 3 criteria. When the sample is 1, when the sample is below 4 but not 1, that means 2 or 3, and when the sample is 4 above, this table is to be valid. So what will be that? Let's see one example that how and when it will be applicable for that. So next first things we will taking the concrete for 1 to 5 cubic meter. For 1 to 5 cubic meter, one would be the sample is equal to be the one sample, and one sample means here is 1 to 5 cubic meter, 3 cubes, and the 3 cubes mean value should be FCK plus 4. That means 30 plus 4, 34 Newton per millimeter square. Where it is we getting that the table on that criteria that the FCK plus 4 should be the minimum. So if we are getting the mean strength of 3 cubes F34, then it is acceptable or the M30. Now the second criteria, if my concrete is 6 to 30 cubic meter, what will be my sample size? This is 3 samples and we will take the 9 cubes. Now we have to sample 1, sample 2, sample 3. Sample 1 has 3 cube, 1, 2, 3. Sample 2 has the another 3 cube, 4, 5, 6. And sample 3 is 7, 8, 9. So we have 3 sample and we have 9 cube. Now we need to take the average or the mean. For sample 1, mean value is M1. This mean value should be FCK minus 2. That should be minimum. That means 30 minus 2, that will be 28 Newton per millimeter square. It will be minimum. If we are getting 28, that means this can be acceptable subject to the other criteria to be satisfied. But if you are getting 27, that means this sample is not valid. The similar way, the second sample also mean value M2, FCK minus 2, that means 28. If it is M60, that 60 minus 2, that means 58 to be my requirement. The similar way, third sample S3, again, the mean value would be M3 is equal to FCK minus 2, that means 30 minus 2, 28 cubic meter. So for if it is 6 to 30 kilo, 3 sample, and each sample minimum strength should be 28, 28, 28, or FCK minus 2. Now, this criteria is valid. Now, the another criteria to satisfy in order to say that this concrete is accepted as per the IS 456. And what is that criteria? That criteria is mean value M1 plus M2 plus M3 slash 3. That means we have taken the mean value for this sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, that we are getting M1, M2, M3. Now we need to take the mean value of these three mean. That means M1, M2, M3 by 3 is equal to what will be the my value? FCK plus 3. That means 30 plus 4. 34 is the minimum. So if it is 34, the mean value of the 3 samples, then it is accepted. An individual sample, if it is within FCK minus 2, that means it is acceptable. So two criteria has to satisfy. One is the individual sample should not fall under 30 minus 2 or the FCK minus 2, and the mean of the samples should be FCK plus 4 if it is the concrete sample is 3 sample or 6 to 30 cubic meter. Now, for the above 30 cubic meter, for above 30 cubic meter, how many is the sample? That is a 4 sample. So now this formula will be valid. What is the formula? Again, we check that one. What will be the formula? Let's see. This formula to be valid if concrete size is more than between. So what will be the value? Mean of 4 group non-overlapping consecutive test and individual test. Individual means the sample of, that means mean of 3 cubes. Now, here it is another catch, the non-overlapping and consecutive test. What does it mean? Let's see. Suppose we have taken the 12 sample. S1, my concrete, as per my concrete requirement, we have 12 sample. S1, S2, S3, S4, up to S12. So whatever the S1, S2, every sample has 3 cubes. So S1 has 3, S2 has 3, S3 has 3, S4 has 3, S5 has 3, everyone. Now, we need to take the mean of every sample. That means M1 is key. That means S1, if you had 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 strength divided by 3. M2 is key, S2, that 4, 5, 6, or the 3 number of cubes. Similarly, M1, M2, M3, M4 is equal to the mean strength of the individual sample. So what will be the criteria? That is FCK minus 3. That means 30 minus 3 is 27 is the minimum. So if my concrete is 30 grade, then the 27 is the minimum to be we should get for the individual samples mean value. And the other value also you have to take, again, this here FCK minus 3 is the individual test result. So individual sample to be FCK minus 3. Now, again, we have get all the mean of the samples. Every sample, that is M1, M2, M2. For S12, the mean value is M12. S11, M mean value M11. All we are getting within the limit, that is 27, FCK minus 3. Now, another criteria we have to satisfy. What it is saying? It is saying 4 non-consecutive overlapping test result. Now, here is, we need to understand very carefully. 4 non-consecutive means, 4 consecutive means if we want to take 4 sample, M1, M2, M3, M4 here, or 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10, 11, 12. That means 4 consecutive sample. You can take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 consecutive. Whatever the sample we are taking, you need to take the 4 consecutive. And non-overlapping, what does mean? Suppose we are taking M1, M2, M3, M4. The second one we are taking M4, M5, M6, M7. Here M4 is overlapping. So this will not be valid. This is very much to understand about the wherever we are accepting or we were making the acceptance criteria, that 4 consecutive, but it should not overlap any single sample. That means M4, 5, 6, 7 we can take, but M7, 8, 9, 10 we cannot take. We have to take M8, 9, 10. So 4 consecutive, not overlapping like this M1, M2, then M6, M7. No, we cannot take. We have to take M1, M2, M3, and also it should not overlap. Now, what is the acceptance criteria? Criteria for one is FCK is equal to 0.825 into standard deviation. From where we are getting that one? Again, this table, FCK plus 0.825 standard deviation, or FCK plus 3, whichever is greater. Okay, now except first FCK 0.825 into standard deviation. Here already we have taken the standard deviation for M30 as I show you on the table, that is 5. So 30 plus 0.825 into 5 is to come 34.125. But what is saying the code, that is the nearest to 0.5. That means it will gain 34 Newton per millimeter. That is, I am not saying, this is saying by the code. Again, rounded up to the nearest 5 or FCK plus 3. So the second criteria is FCK plus 3, that is 30 plus 3, 33, whichever is greater. Hence, my criteria is to 34. That means this all sample mean M1, M2, M3, M4, M4, whatever taken. And again, whenever you are taking the consecutive non-overlapping, this should not fall below 34. If it is below 34, that means it is not acceptable. And if it is an individual, whatever saying, FCK minus 3, that means 27. So two criteria. Every sample should be within FCK minus 3, that means 30 minus 3, 27. I mean, it is 60, 60 minus 3, 57. And 4 consecutive non-overlapping should be either FCK plus 0.825 into standard deviation or FCK plus 3, whichever is greater, that has to accept it. In our case, it is coming FCK plus 0.825 into standard deviation is 34 and FCK plus 3 is coming 33. That means our acceptance criteria is 34. So for if we are getting 4 consecutive non-overlapping, min value is 34, that means our concrete is accepted, its concrete is achieve the desired strength, whatever we required at site. So these are the things you need to take care, and you need to follow this step by step without skipping any test. And then only you can find out how to select the or whatever the acceptance criteria for the concrete cube. And I hope you find this information is useful. And if you find it useful, kindly subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get immediate notification. And I'm waiting for your valuable comments so that from your comments, everybody will be benefited. And if you want to know anything more about quality control and construction, please let me know. I'll come with more content like this. And thank you once again for watching me.